As a non-resident investor, you may well have organisations in your own country who are marketing Australian projects, or organisations who present at your local property shows. So why deal with Homeport property? After all, we are all the way over here in Australia. I'm John Faulkner, Managing Director and Licensee in charge of Homeport property. And in the next few minutes, I'd like to show you why non-residents do better with Homeport property. Firstly, because we are based in Australia. We have offices in Sydney and Melbourne. And the properties that we offer our non-resident investors are exactly the same properties, at the same prices, and with the same benefits as we offer our local Australian investors. So as a non-resident investor, you can be comfortable knowing that you're receiving the same information as our local investors. Homeport is the direct marketing arm of a company that has been supplying Australian property to local and non-resident investors for over 30 years. And over that time, we've sold in excess of $2.5 billion worth of property to over 6,500 individual investors. So you're dealing with an organisation whose experience you can benefit from. And over this time, with the market strength that we've built, we're in a position where we have a sizable network of developers. Developers who routinely approach us first with their new projects. And that means that we can afford to knock back far more projects than we move ahead with. And we do, as we find that whilst many projects look good in a marketing brochure, many of them just don't measure up from an investment point of view. And it's often these projects that we knock back that we later see being marketed by companies who are marketing Australian property just to non-resident investors. Investors who are often not as familiar with the local market, not as familiar with the prices for specific areas, the demographics of a location, the background of a developer, all the sorts of things that we pay great attention to. Homeport will only ever launch projects that we believe will have good market acceptance from our local investors, which can be a great comfort to our offshore investors. We personally inspect each of the projects that we offer our investors. We meet with the developers. We go over the plans, the pricing, the rental market, the property designs, fixtures and finishings, and we personally look at the development site. As we're on the ground locally and have such an established network, we can ensure that we offer the right projects in the right locations. As a non-resident, you'll have the same choice of high-quality projects throughout the year as our local investors. We're a licensed real estate agency. Homeport and its associated companies have real estate licences in Melbourne, in Sydney and in Brisbane, so you have the same protection under local laws as a local investor. We release new projects to our entire network as soon as they're available, which is usually well before they've been publicly launched. So our non-resident investors, along with our local investors, receive information at the same time. We don't need to coordinate with property shows or wait until we're travelling to a specific location to launch the project. Time and time again we see projects that we've already released to our database being supposedly exclusively launched in an offshore location. As a Homeport investor, you'll get access to a project as early as possible. As your property's been constructed, we're here in Australia at the ground level, providing project updates, keeping you up to date with the market, and providing our investors with a local Australian network of professionals who are experienced with assisting the needs of our non-resident investors. Local lawyers, property managers, building inspectors, finance brokers, accountants. So you'll have all the support required to ensure a hassle-free investment, not just as it's been built, but throughout the years as your investment grows. Deal with the company that is licensed in Australia to sell real estate, has offices here in Australia, markets the same projects at the same prices to local and non-resident investors, and who personally inspects all of the projects that they market and has an ability to support their investors as projects complete, so you can have complete peace of mind. These are just some of the projects that we've offered our local and offshore investors over the last few years. Properties in Melbourne, in Sydney and in Brisbane. If these are the sorts of projects and locations that interest you, then please feel free to complete one of the inquiry forms on our website. That way you can be one of the first to find out about our latest releases. Thanks for your time. If you have any queries, please feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Bye for now.